on behalf of the Indian Institute of Technology and Institute Lecture Series IIT BHU Varanasi, I welcome you all to the eminent lecture of Shri Rajesh Chagasia, who is an international faculty for Art of Living, and he is talking today on a topic that is Mind 2.0. माइंड इटसेल्फ यक्ष से पूछा था, यक्ष ने युधिष्ठिर से पूछा सबसे तेज क्या है विश्व में, उन्होंने कहा मन. You can appreciate the complexities that are now being handled by human mind when you see that lot of people from lot of fields are trying to understand human mind. We had Firag Gorakhpuri, he had said way back that हर जर्रे पर कैफियत नींद शबी है, ऐसा किए दौरा ये गुनाहों की घड़ी है. Probably these words, if you translate it in English, comes to that most of the scenarios today are almost fuzzy. So to clarify the scenario, you have to have very settled mind. Unfortunately, settlement of mind is not taking place. Most of the people are having, if you see postmodernism, if you see Buddha says apadipo bhav. So all the people are moving with their own truths, and confluence of those truths are the need of the hour. Otherwise, more and more conflicts would occur because of subjectivity induced into truth. I think we'll be better able to understand this when Rajesh ji delivers his speech. May I now request Rajesh ji to please come and dais. And on the way, I request him to gather Mohammed and do the light lighting. I now request Ms. Rita Singh Chauhan to welcome Shri Rajesh by presenting a bouquet. Most of you already know Shri Rajesh Chagasia. His CV has already been given to you all, but still I'll give you some highlights. He has been an electronics engineer from Mumbai University. He served in a Canadian firm for about 8 years, and thereafter he attended to his call of duty. That is, he joined Art of Living and is today one of the leading proponents and international faculty. So with that capacity, he moves across the globe, and as I was seeing his CV, I found he's a true globetrotter. And in difficult scenarios like Gulf, he has been talking of Art of Living and Sudarshan Kriya. So Gulf, USA, and not many countries he has already handled very successfully. And those of his students, I would say, who have attended his sessions have always been full of appreciation, and some of our students who have been his students in the Art of Living are having all praise for him. टीचर्स का सबसे बड़ा निकष उसका छात्र होता है, और छात्र अगर उसका बड़ाई करे अगर किसी शिक्षक की, तो उसकी शिक्षा में कुछ महत्वपूर्ण जरूर है. इन शब्दों के साथ मैं निवेदन करता हूं श्री राजेश चगासिया जी को अपने उद्बोधन के लिए. श्री राजेश.
Thank you, Professor Rajiv Ji, for inviting us here. The first thing I want to ask you is that, let me ask you the question here. I think we have it on the slide. And let me come straight to the topic, Mind 2.0. 2.0 means we are actually going to reboot the mind, make it a new function. It's not 1.6 or 1.7. It's a complete new functionality. It's a new one, absolutely. Tell me, what kind of people do you like around you? Tell me, around you, what kind of people do you like? Participate. Optimistic. Happy. Enthusiastic. Behind at the back. What kind of people do you like? You have some friend of yours right now next to you. If you say something which means he's that way.
Open-minded.
Open-minded.
Joyful.
Joyful. Tell
I
me.
can't choose people around me.
But what kind of people do you usually like around you? If you're going for a trip, what kind of people would you like?
Positive people.
You want positive people? Okay, there you go. Like-minded.
Helpful.
Helpful. Decide. Participate.
Interesting.
In what ways? Interesting.
Motivational.
Motivational.
Humorous.
Humorous. Good. Huh?
Adventurous.
Adventurous. Okay. Those three guys are adventurous, interesting. One last answer. What kind of people do you like around you? Think about you. When you're saying this, your friend is that way. So tell me, what kind of people do you like around you? Yes? Huh? Successful. Now tell me, why did you choose all this? Why did you not say that I want angry people around me? I want depressed people around me. I want some violent people around me. Why? Why not? Why did you not say I want some jealous people around me? Tell me. Why did you not say? Have you ever thought about this? Or why not? Does a small child get to choose what kind of people he has around him? Not really. Not really. But you get to choose what kind of people you like around you. Now, if you get an angry person around you, what happens? That person is angry and that anger comes into you. And that you cannot handle inside. So you say, I don't want to be with this person. Anybody agrees to this fact? If a depressed person, if a person always complaining, कुछ नहीं होने वाला है, अरे बेकार है, बेकार है, बेकार है. If you get somebody like this, and when you meet that particular person, there is this thing, अरे बेकार है. Suddenly something happens in you. If you have depressed people around you, something touches you and you cannot handle that. Agree? Yes, no?
Yes.
So basically, when a person outside has an emotion, it actually reverberates inside into you. You cannot handle that particular, neither can you handle it, neither can you be indifferent to it. So, I delete the person from my life. I don't want those kind of people. What I want some happy people, I want interesting, adventurous, motivational, successful people around me because they won't touch my inside. My insides are, my mind is happy, that's it. Agree?
Yes.
Now, if everybody is asking for happy people around them, who is the first one who is going to become that? Because you are asking for happy people and your friend is also asking for happy people and his friend is also asking for happy people. So who's going to become that? So how do I handle when somebody comes in front of me? If there is, now see a small child. Have you noticed a small child? If you put a small child in the middle of 100 depressed people, 100 utterly depressed people, you put a small child in that, what happens? Will he influence those 100 people or will he get influenced?
Yes.
Huh? Will those 100 people influence the small child? Will the small child be depressed after that? No. They will actually be running behind the small child, wanting to, catch him in the arms, wanting to do poo poo poo, choo choo choo, coo coo coo. All that. How is this? How can a small child affect his environment so much? And what happens when we grow up? Why is it that suddenly we want to be influenced by the environment? How can I break this tendency of getting influenced by the environment all day long? This comes to Mind 2.0. That how do I upgrade myself to this? That wherever I go, whatever people I meet, I remain absolutely the same. In fact, enhance my learnings with the different kinds of people that are there. Wouldn't it be great to have something like that? This is one quality. If you go somewhere and you inspire people around you, So this is my first point which I want to ask you and upgrade. Like in the art of living, we teach in different situations. You know, if it's Iraq, so many people are leaving the country, and you will see art of living teachers entering Iraq. Yes, we just had a course in Syria last month with 175 Syrians. Most of the Syrians are actually migrating to Europe and different countries, and art of living teachers have reached there. They are teaching courses because somewhere there is a technique to influence the environment and influence the minds of different people, and that technique, if we learn, I can have any kind of people around me and yet be still. The mother-in-law will no longer disturb you after this whenever she comes in life. Okay, let's go to the next point. Let's go to now that's a very interesting point. So the mind, does it go to the past? Yes, no? Yes, it goes to the past. It goes to the past. What does it do? Does it go and come back? Like 2 years back, somebody told you that I don't like you, I don't trust you. Somebody told you this, I don't like you. Did your mind, when your mind goes in the past, catches this, does it come back immediately? No. Look at that. It sits there. The mind goes in the past. If it comes back immediately, it's brilliant because that's called learning. If your mind goes in the past, okay, this is what I had done and this is the mistake, and it comes back and learns from the mistake. But when it sits there, when it sticks there, when it says this is my home, then these are thoughts. I don't like you is a thought. Agree? Now, continuously, if you think about this, somebody told you, I don't like you, I don't like you, I don't, hota hai, it's a free country. Anybody can say anything. Sometimes they don't mean it. Actually, many times they don't mean it. But we catch it and continuously you are thinking about this, I don't like you, I don't like you. Oh, this person told me I don't like you, I don't like you. What happens then? What's the next step? Nobody likes me. Okay, what's the next step ahead of this? Huh? I'm a loser. Okay, from one, somebody by the way, just somebody close to you, by the way just comes and says, I don't like you. There you go. Done. The mind is shattered. It takes this thought and choose it continuously. Continuously choose it. Agree? Yes? You know the mind loves garbage. It loves garbage. Anybody who tells negative, it will sit and continuously chew about it all the time for 2 years. That's why relationships for 5 years, 10 years can break with one negative. They're so fragile, can break with one negative comment. You know why? Because we don't know how to handle our emotions. Now, when this thought you continuously chew, it produces something called as emotions. I describe it like that. Have you seen cement powder? Yes. That's a thought. Thoughts people come and by the way give you. You know, somebody will say, hey, you're not looking good today. Just one comment, you're not looking good today. That can become an anger emotion. What do you think? How about you? Have you seen yourself? Look at your nose. Immediately it can become, because why? You want to chew on this thought continuously. So in a cement powder, you put some water and mix it. And now you apply it here and look at this wall. It has become cemented. Emotional stability is a quality in the mind. If we learn how to handle our emotions, you know, the lecture is called Educate to Innovate and Innovate to Change. The word change has two aspects. One is at the level of intellectual change, that yeah, I understand, you know, sometimes you, in your house, you have to remove your slippers. So I understand, intellectually it's right, but you know, today I'm very lazy. You're angry, you will wear your slippers inside. Emotional change doesn't happen so easily in this world. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So, this has produced an emotion, and how much time does an emotion stay? So what are the emotions when in the past? What are the emotions of the past? Tell me? Anger. Anger is of the past. You cannot if your mind has anger, basically it means where is it? It's sitting in the past. It's called Bhutkal. Sometimes you say Bhutpreta. It's a past. It's an emotion which comes in the past. What are the emotions? Regret. You regret the past. Why this is happening? Why did this happen to me? If you have these two emotions and you are sitting with it for a very long time you sit with it, anger and regret, and you have no idea how to get rid of it, you know what it turns into? It sits there and turns into violence. It turns into violence. Everybody has to learn how to handle emotions. Agree? Yes, no? This would be an upgraded mind if I can be emotionally stable, if I can learn how to handle my emotions effectively. This will be a mind which you can be very strong with. Similarly, future. Let's come ahead. Let's go ahead. Future. You call somebody and you haven't studied, and that person says, I'm doing my second revision. You haven't studied, which is normal. 2 days, 3 days before only an engineer starts studying. I have heard that, and I remember my days. So you haven't studied and you call somebody and say that, oh, I'm just studying. And how long did you finish? I just started. Oh yeah, I'm to finish. I'm doing my second revision. What will happen to you? What will happen to you? Total breakdown? Breakdown of which emotion? Breakdown with which emotion? Hope, huh? Hope? Think about it. Think about it. Would you like to go next to this person also if his room is 102? If you are passing by 103, you might actually skip, you might run through 102. Because the vibrations of the room only will be fear. The vibration of the room will be like, oh my God, no. So similarly, future, when you sit there, then it produces these thoughts of the future. What is going to happen? What is going to happen? This is a recipe for depression. While we are doing mind 2.0, let me tell you mind 0.0 also. Just sit in a corner and think about it. What will happen to me? मेरा क्या होगा? Just sit anywhere in a corner. Sit alone. Take a corner, something like that. Take a corner, sit on the chair, and just think about it. मेरा क्या होगा? Repeat it 4 times. Repeat it 4 times and repeat it in the Bollywood style. मेरा क्या होगा? मेरा क्या होगा? And there you go. The emotions which come in the future are these. Anxiety and fear. What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? And it goes to, if it sits for a long time, it produces paranoia. You fear everything. You distrust everything. Anyone who wants to come and help you also, you think, कुछ तो चाहिए. कुछ तो चाहिए. क्या चाहिए बोला? Trust levels in the world today have come down. Extremely down. Initially, I remember when I used to travel 15 years back, there used to be only one checking, and one policeman would check you at the airport. Today, if you go to the airport, there is 5 times somebody checks you. 5 times. There are X-rays. There's full body checks. 5 times. The trust levels in the world have come down so drastically. To get this back, we have to get the mind where? Where should we get the mind? In the present. Concentration is a product of the present. Agree? As soon as you open your book, suddenly have you noticed the mind goes in the past? Automatically. You don't have to do much. If you don't believe this, just open any book. The mind goes in the future. Agree? The mind goes in the past and the future. But to get the mind in the present, to make it live in the present, because these are the qualities of the present. Just look at that. These are the qualities of the present: joy, creativity, hope, trust, expansion in the level of the mind, happiness, awareness. Whenever you have been extremely happy, your mind has been in the present. Now, that comes to how many times are we happy in a day? There is a research which says that a small child smiles 400 times in a day. Have you noticed this? A small child, if you take a small child, smiles 400 times in a day. Now this small child becomes big. He becomes big. Now he's 20 years old. You know how many times he smiles? It should increase, right?
Once in 400.
No, I'm little more optimistic. So this child smiles at least, average it out 17 times, a 20-year-old, 17 times in a day. Now he's 30, he's married. Whenever I say this in any university, in any college, everybody else laughs. No, poor guy. There's a celebration, they do a celebration in marriage and everybody comes and gives the gifts and says, congratulations, you lost your smile, but take the gift. So this, how to get the mind in the present moment? How do I do that? What should I do? If you have to develop a bicep also today, if you want to get into a shape, you need a coach. Isn't it? You need a coach. Even if you want to get into shape, even if you want a flat stomach, you need a coach. Even if you want some stretching, you want to go and learn football, you need a coach. You want higher studies, you need a coach. You want to draw, you need YouTube. You need some coach, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitter, whether it's something. So, which means that an intangible thing like the mind, how would it be to get it in the present and experience this joy? Smile. You know, today if you see any comedy serial, there is from behind that, when you're supposed to laugh, there is actually a laughter sound from behind. So they remind you, you know how to laugh, do it. But in an emotional scene, there is nothing like that. In an emotional scene, you just see somebody and they are going through a difficult, you immediately identify, oh, that's me. I'm having such a problem, and there's tears in the eyes. So easy to do this, but so difficult to come in the present. And that's what is Mind 2.0. Coming back to the present, experiencing this joy more and more in the present moment. Yeah, we are on a journey of getting lots and more. We are on a journey of getting more and more externally. Today you want friends, you want more friends. You want to increase your Facebook count. You want to increase your Facebook comments. You want to suddenly, I remember there was one girl who used to tell me she likes her post and unlikes her post. That way her post comes up. And more comments come on the page. We are on a journey of so much more, but how about increasing the capacity to live life, to grasp more, to experience joy more? Wouldn't it be great?
Yes.
So how did this start? How did this journey start? Let's see. So how did this journey start? So there was this nice wise man, white beard, curly hair, and nice, strong. And he said that I want to, get this knowledge. I want to get this knowledge of this whole, consciousness. And read the knowledge of the Brahman. I want to get this. So he prayed to Lord Brahma, who was the creator, and then Brahma told him, okay, I'm going to show you the knowledge, the mountains of knowledge. So he goes there, Brahma takes him there and tells him, okay, you can pick up only 2 handfuls. So he picked up 2 handfuls of knowledge from that mountain and he comes back. And that became the Vedas. That became the knowledge. Today in Russia, the word for knowledge is also Ved. In Ved. So if you say Ved, in Russia also it means knowledge. That became the Vedas. Now this man became Ved Vyas, the mighty, Brahma Rishi Ved Vyas. What did he do? He actually classified the whole knowledge. He made everything, he made a glossary, he made an index. So chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. If it was so scattered, absolutely scattered, this man actually made it indexed. He gave an index and he also gave a Google search to it. So you can search. You can see what you want to do. And this man became the knowledge. So anytime, when it comes to a teacher, they say Vyaspeeth. They call it Vyaspeeth, which is the seat of knowledge. Whenever it comes like that. Now this man in one of the shlokas has said that in the Vedas, he says that there is energy. Everything is energy. And I think recently you would have seen that from the gravitational theorem that they have proved that everything, the matter has energy. Each one of us has an energy. Agree? Like see, for example, you go to a party and you meet unknown people walking. You just look at them and sometimes you feel, I want to talk to this person. Pretty approachable. And sometimes you feel, no. So this man actually classified every human being, every matter as energy. He said we are all made up of energy. And in those times, he showed that a planet, a particular planet, an animal, a food, and the body. Like, it said, in the Vedas it says here, Pinde Tad Brahmande. Whatever is inside is what is outside. You cannot see an invention which is outside, which is not inside. There are super highways inside, there are bridges inside, there are roadways inside, there are jungles inside, there are waterways inside. Actually, you are an ocean. You are 70%, 80% water, full water. So, you are actually inside your ocean. So sometimes you drink water, there will be a tsunami. A bacteria must be just going to date somebody, and you drank water, and poor guy, you say his got swept into the tsunami. So, oh my God, I finally found somebody, and you produce a tsunami inside. No total, Yat Pinde Tad Brahmande, it said. And this man, thousands of years back, said that the planet, for example, the Saturn and the Mars. So let's get this whole chart. So he said that these energies have matching energies. So at that time, 10,000 years back, maybe 10, 15,000 years back, he said the Saturn and the crow and the sesame seed and the teeth have the same energy. Really, this suddenly now, in these last few years, they have found that the sesame seed is extremely beneficial for the teeth. So they have a process in the science which is called oil pulling. Anybody knows about this? It's called oil pulling. So it says that you take the sesame seed oil, उसका तेल जो होता है तिल का तेल वो लो और वो अपने मुंह में थोड़ा सा डाइल्यूट कर दीजिए और just dilute that particular oil and then swish it in the mouth, gargle it in the mouth and throw it off, and your tooth decay reduces by 5 times. By 5 times your tooth decay reduces. This has been proven now, some 15 years back. But this guy had said the same energies actually are very beneficial for you. And the same thing was proven with the Saturn, with the crow, and they have the same. So if you see Shanidev, he has this crows as his chariot. And that impacts the sesame seeds, that impact the... Amazing. Look at the Mars, the goat, the chickpeas, Kabuli chana, apne chole, is very good for the liver. They found out that chickpeas actually has selenium, which even fruits and vegetables don't carry. The spinach carries sometimes. The fruits and vegetables don't have. So it's actually cancer protection. So if you have chickpeas, it actually helps your liver to be very healthy. It helps you to, it has protection from many kinds, 5 kinds of cancers. So this he told 10,000 years back. Still the research between Saturn and the crow has not been done. In fact, we invite you to do that. How did he find this out? This is the knowledge that India has given to the world. Such brilliant knowledge which was produced 10,000, 15,000 years back has now started getting into reality. So, which means that the knowledge of keeping the mind relaxed is also possible. What do you say? Yes, no? The knowledge of independently being happy. Till date, we only know happiness through some source outside. We know happiness, we identify happiness with some source outside. Somebody comes and gives you an iPhone 6. There you go. Somebody just walking by tells you, hey, you're looking good today. There you go, you uplift yourself. So till date we only understand happiness from outside. Is there a way to be happy from the inside? Yes, there is. This is what is called meditation. This is what is called meditation. This has been proclaimed that a meditation can de-link you from sources outside and make you supremely happy. And everybody is searching for this happiness. Let me tell you that. The search of happiness that is there in the world is for this kind of happiness. It's not from something outside. Because something which makes you happy outside, now if I gift you an iPhone 6, you are supremely happy and you go out and you put it in the water. The way supremely happy you were, the way that much down. But you put the water, So how can you do this? It's called meditation. Meditation is one way in which you can relax yourself. What else can it do? What else can this do? Now see, we all are studying, we are all students, we are all studying, you study for 4 years. And after 4 years, in 5 minutes you have to present to the interviewer. Such irony, but it's like that. In 5-10 minutes you have to present to the interviewer that you are a great student, that you know what it means. Agree? 4 years of study, you have to show it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You have to show it yourself. What should I have for this? What quality should I have for this? One is technical knowledge. Agree? Yes? Yes? What other quality should I have for this? What's the other quality? Technical knowledge, great. What's the other quality? Yes, tell me. Good expression. Meditation improves your expression. Makes your expression extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. Then, let's see that. So, expression is what? It's from inside to outside. Agree? Yes, no? Yes. Inside, like if you are feeling nervous inside, you should know how to protect it. You are going for an interview, you stand in front of people, you are feeling nervous, your legs are shaking, but you should know inside to outside. Expression is this. Many times we tell people, I could not express myself nicely that day. A brilliant expression is required for a full human being. For a full blossom human being. Then comes perception. Have you noticed sometimes you tell people, hey, tu mujhe galat samajh raha hai yaar. Tu mujhe galat samajh raha hai. From outside to inside. You look at people who have some judgments. Right? From outside to inside it flows. And the last is observation. What am I feeling right now? Can I be truthful to that, how I'm feeling right now? Many times we postpone this. We don't observe. For example, you tell a lie to somebody. You feel extreme contraction. Anybody? You feel extreme contraction inside. You ignore it. Then second time you tell a lie, you feel contraction. Third time you tell a lie, you feel nothing. Fourth time you tell a lie, you say, it's for good. झूठ तो बोलना चाहिए, सच क्यों बोलना चाहिए? When you lose observation of the inside, you start accepting negativity as a habit. Are you understanding what I'm saying? You do something wrong. This is an important thing. You do something wrong. You feel it, but you ignore it. You don't have the power of observation, inside to inside. Then second time that decreases. Third time it almost is neutral. And the fourth time you actually justify doing wrong. So today in the world, many people are justifying corruption, pollution, because somewhere the observation inside to inside is lost. How do you do this? Meditation. Meditation elevates your mind to 2.0, gets you to where you want to be, not where you are. All of us have a dream for ourselves with respect to our mind. So there are 4 points what I told you. First is, how do you influence the environment? How many want to do that? How many would like a mind like that? That wherever you go, you have accepted friends. Anger, Come on, I'll handle it. It doesn't touch me, I'll handle it. Second point, what is the second point? Anybody? Mind going in the past, mind going in the future, producing emotions, producing emotional stability. How would you like to have this? Having emotional stability. The third point, बोलिए, mind and matter, energy, right? And the fourth point, can't hear, louder. Observation, perception and expression. You have to fight with somebody, in 2 minutes you have to convince that, मेरी गलती नहीं थी. Have you noticed how much effort it requires? Because somewhere the expression is not there. You have to fight with somebody, sensitivity is not there, you say, वो हमेशा गलत है. So this perception, observation and expression is a skill. Is a skill for a blossomed human mind. If you get this, I tell you will blossom. But how? Meditation. So would you like to meditate?
Yes.
Everybody?
Yes.
So one rule of meditation is two things, not one, two. First, you have to keep your phones off. You have to keep your phone silent, off, whatever. I think it is. Second, if you want to walk out, you walk out now. If you want to walk out, it's time. For 5-6 minutes, we all will meditate and go through this experience. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so let's do a difficult task in life. Let's close our eyes. It's pretty much a difficult task when you're around people. Let's close our eyes. Take a long deep breath in and breathe out. Just observe the breath. सांस पे ध्यान दीजिए. Observe the breath. Just see if the incoming breath is longer or the outgoing breath. With deliberation, make the outgoing breath longer right now. बाहर जाती हुई सांस को लंबा करते हैं. सांस लें और धीरे धीरे छोड़ें. सांस लें. Let's put a delay of 2 seconds in breathing in. Make the breath longer by 2 seconds. Breathe out. 2 seconds more. Breathe out more. The outgoing breath is nice and long. The incoming breath automatically happens. Incoming breath is energizing the body. See this. Breathe in. Every cell is getting energized. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Nice long deep breath out. Observe all the disturbances in the environment now. Keep your eyes closed, observe the sounds. The sound of the fan. The sound of few people breathing. Be in harmony with the surroundings, whatever is happening. One more breath in and out. Just relax your body on the chair which you are sitting on. Relax your shoulders. Relax your feet also. Leave your shoulders loose, the feet is loose. Relax the eyebrows. Relax. Relax the whole body. With a relaxed body, the mind easily gets into meditation. One more breath in and out. Let's observe the thoughts coming in the mind. Just look at them. Good thoughts, or bad thoughts, just accept them. Let them be. One more breath in. And breathe out. Just become aware of the feelings, emotions. Pleasant or unpleasant. Be in harmony with the emotions. रिलैक्स कंप्लीटली, विश्राम करें। शांति, शांति। One more time, become aware of the thoughts in the mind. Just look at the thoughts. Look at the slowly become aware of the body, become aware of the environment. A gentle smile on your face. Breathe in, breathe out. And slowly, when you feel complete, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. Good. How was it? Tell me. Good. Not good. Good. How many feeling silent? Surely is, because we did it for 14 minutes. 14 minutes just passed away. So first thing you do, you refer to the manual. If you get a washing machine, you refer to the manual. If you get an audio system, you refer to the manual. Similarly, we have an instrument inside us, but we don't have the manual. We have the mind, but we don't have the manual how to relax it and upgrade it. Here, these techniques, if we learn and relax the mind, we directly upgrade it. That's the whole purpose. Any experiences or any question you want to share? Anything you want to ask or anything you want to share? Looks like it was really silent, huh? Everybody's I haven't seen a classroom so silent before this. आँख बंद करना जरूरी नहीं है, लेकिन to start with, yes. To start with, once upon a time we learned how to brush. We learned how to brush, right? So there was a rhythm. You had to take the brush in your hand and you had to put it in the mouth. It was very difficult. We didn't know how to do it. बट एक बार सीख लिया फिर आँख खोल के भी ध्यान हो सकता है. जैसे एक बार सीखा ना खाना खाना है, आँख खोल के ही देखना पड़ता था. अच्छा मिक्स कैसे करना है, दाल और चावल मिक्स कैसे करेंगे. बट एक बार सीख लिया, एक बार मास्टर कर लिया, फिर जरूरत नहीं है. फिर डायरेक्टली फिर आँख खोल के भी ध्यान कर सकते हैं. लेकिन सोचो तुम आँख खोल के ध्यान कर रहे हो, कोई आगे बात कर रहा है, एक्सक्यूज मी, इसका आंसर बताओ. सॉरी मैं ध्यान कर रहा हूँ. थोड़ा वियर्ड हो गया है, थोड़ा सा वियर्ड. आई थिंक ये यूनिफॉर्म में आँख बंद करके यहाँ सोना है. कुछ लोग आँख खोल के सोते हैं. पूछो पास पास लोगों को कैसा लगता है. It's quite scary. Once I had some buddy in my hostel. He used to open his eyes and sleep. Now we didn't know whether he's sleeping or he's not sleeping. तो कभी कभी तो लोग बात भी कर लेते थे, पूरा पैराग्राफ बताते थे, वैसे ही देखता रहता था. It's quite a scary thing. हाँ तो आँख बंद करना ये करो, आँख बंद करके करो, यूनिफॉर्म में ऐसे ही कर दो. अकेले है तो आँख खोल के करो. Anything else?
Feeling sleepy during meditation is good or bad?
Feeling sleepy during meditation is neither good neither bad.
So
It is. If your body is not relaxed, the first thing that the mind will do, it will relax the body. That's why they say, that's why if you know today, many doctors recommend yoga. Why they recommend yoga? Because in the subconscious level of meditation, almost 800 diseases can be solved in a subconscious state. Like if you know there is a therapy called craniosacral. In that craniosacral, the way you de-stress is like there is a jerk in that particular part of the body, or there is some particular sounds in it. So they say this is a de-stressing technique. Craniosacral is a very, or osteopathy, similar. So when you meditate, the first thing the mind will do, if your body is very tired, it will put it to sleep. Maybe 5 minutes sleep, and immediately after 5 minutes when you wake up, you can start meditating again. It's absolutely that is. Relax the body is the first step. You can't meditate with a very stressed body. You have to sleep, because sleep gives you energy. And that energy can be used for meditation also.
I would like to paraphrase his surname. From S, I would like to substitute with D. So you can call him Rajesh Jagadia. Many of the problems. So instead of Rajesh Jagasia, from now onward, I will mention him as Rajesh Jagadia. And in Kashi, which is a city of light, he enlightened us with many of the problems that we face in day-to-day life. India is known for talking in abstract terms. एंड एब्स्ट्रैक्शंस पर सोचना सबसे ज़्यादा मुश्किल होता है। बुलियन अलजेब्रा से ज़्यादा टफ पड़ता है, इसी कारण कि एब्स्ट्रैक्ट की बात करता है। So converting those abstract things into techniques and bringing it down to hand holding, making you meditate, making you feel what he is feeling is extremely challenging. In days where things are so very difficult that you don't even see what is happening just around you and which is influencing you. So I must congratulate him for doing this, and I would request our students to go for an inward journey. And the moment you do that, many of the things, the perspective itself will change, perception will change, observation will change, expression will change, and your impressions about other things and surroundings will also change. And that in turn will change your life forever. So with this, I would request Professor Sangal to kindly felicitate him. Sir. And now I would thank first Professor Sangal for sparing some of his extremely pressurized time. In student days when we heard in vote of thanks that in spite of your busy schedule, I used to always think that it's a phrase that is put in vote of thanks. But now I know how precious his time is. Each second which he spends delays some decisions which are very significant for the institute life. So in that, being aware of it probably, but he doesn't make us feel that it is so important. So I thank Professor Sangal for giving an opportunity to hear Rajesh Chagasia ji. Professor Som is my chair in many other committees, but he always makes it possible that he attends all my ILS. He inspires me. Professor Karmakar is my senior. He always influences us many a time in many directions other than mining. So, and I thank all the colleagues of mine, esteemed colleagues of mine who are here. Each of them is an institution in themselves when they are within the classrooms. But here, they sat as students and also meditated and graduated to Mind 2.0. Students who basically are the stakeholders of this lecture, to whom we basically want to address. You are here in large numbers, and I am pretty sure when you go back to hostel and discuss what Rajesh ji has told you all, you will be emanating positivity within hostel surroundings that will then culminate into better achievements of your life. Thank you very much, each one of you. This time I had asked the organizers to go for snacks and high tea, which ILS always is praised for. But they said, we will do it. And somehow, because of their mismanagement, if you are missing class, then not me. I told them to do it, and these people had said, so in vote of thanks, normally I just thank, but because you people will be missing your nashtas, it is a loan on me, next time we'll cover it. So, whenever students do, there are some things which mismatches. But that is a part of training of the organization. I hope next time that won't occur. So thank you each one of you. I don't have tea to offer. I'm sorry for it. Thank you.